Romance scams are huge. Here's a story about a lady, met a guy online. He told her he's an astronaut. He's in space and running out of oxygen, and she sent him money. Welcome back to the JP Reacts channel, my beautiful freedom-loving friend. This is where we call out lies, hypocrisy, corruption, and help spread the light of truth and freedom because truth conquers. And you know what does not contain truth? Any kind of scam. And there's a growing type of scam, romance scams. In brief, you meet someone online, they're not who they really are, but you think they have a fake profile, you think they're a real person, they make a romantic connection, and then, spoiler alert, all of a sudden they need money and you're emotionally invested, you send them money. Apparently in 2024, over $1 billion was lost to scammers. A little bit later on, we'll talk about how they prey on people. We'll also hear from a Calgary woman who sent a pretend guy $800,000. Kind of left her high and dry. But the top story is a little bit different than normal romance scams. Normal romance scams, though there's signs, we're going to see the signs that you're involved in a romance scam. Don't send money. We'll see those at the end of the video. But I have empathy for those. It's preying on innocent people. It is a legitimate crime, enticing victims into it. But this one, I feel a little bit less empathy about. It's just kind of like a scammer said he was an astronaut. Who's going to believe that? I don't think anybody's going to believe it, but I just want to say I'm an astronaut. Holy cows, it worked with someone. So here's the story. Woman loses thousands of dollars to romance scammer posing as astronaut in distress, police in Japan say. So this was a old lady in Japan who was the victim of this crime. I don't know, she's old. Maybe that's a part of it. Maybe she wasn't switched on. She's still like, oh yeah, we definitely went to the moon, so astronauts are real, and I'm the only one that can save space. Let me support this astronaut. The helpless woman in Japan, wherever region, met the fraudster in July on social media who claimed to be a male astronaut. After some exchanges, the scammer one day told her he was in space on a spaceship right now, but was under attack and in need of oxygen. I won't laugh at other scams. Again, it's crime. It's horrible. It tricks people. It can actually ruin their life and bankrupt them. I'm going to laugh at this one. Because like, what's this lady thinking? She's like, all right, he's an astronaut. He's in space. That checks out. A spaceship is under attack. Okay, aliens are real. And he's in need of oxygen. Well, you need oxygen in space. That checks out. Where do I send the money? Because when you think about it, all the oxygen stores, well, in space, they don't just hand out oxygen for free. Of course, you got to buy it. This guy, he's the love of my life. I've never met him. We've messaged online. I don't want the love of my life to die of oxygen deprivation, especially during a spaceship attack. The scammer then urged her to pay him online to help him buy oxygen. Yeah, she's like, well, that checks out too. I don't have a space shuttle. I can't take him cash. Online makes sense. Cool. Give me the routing number. And successfully hoodwinked around 1 million yen, or 6,700 real dollars out of her. The woman lives alone and started developing feelings for him online, yada, yada. Yeah, so she's screwed out of money. Now, normal scams, I'll tell you how I think they work in a second. But first, there's some holes in this story. Some say she should have seen it coming. First off, you meet someone online. You should know there's fake people online. It's been estimated as much as 10% of profiles on dating sites are fake. They're just scammers trying to emotionally connect with people. And then social media profiles, like, it's estimated to be way more than 10% are fake. So you kind of got to know there's some fake people in the online space. Like, you're not dealing with people, you're dealing with a representation of something on your computer. So maybe she could have known that. The second clue, and I hope she doesn't watch this because I don't want her to feel bad. It's just kind of stupid. Second clue is like, okay, it's an astronaut. All right, that's not a very common profession. It's just sort of, it sounds goofy. I don't know. Are there 12 astronauts in the world? Maybe. I'm not sure. But an astronaut, and he's in space. I like that. Okay, Astronaut is in space. Astronauts go to space. That checks out. Doesn't really check out to me, if I'm being honest with you. I don't think I would fall for this one. I might. I probably wouldn't fall for this one more than 2 or 3 times before I'm onto him. Like, dude, these astronauts in space are actually fake people. But he's in space with a solid internet connection, messaging her on whatever social media app they were using. But the part that, if I'm being honest, I would fall for everything up to this point. But the part that I might start raising an eyebrow over is his spaceship is under attack. Now, let's transpose ourselves to the scammer. What scammer? Like, I don't think this guy wanted money. Because if there's a romance scammer out there, they're going to be like telling you believable things because they want your money. Don't give it to them, but they want your money. So they're like, oh, yeah, my mom's in the hospital and damn, she doesn't have insurance. I'm going to be heartbroken if she dies. Oh my gosh, I'm emotionally invested with you. I don't want you to be heartbroken. Your mom died. I'll at least give you money so the hospital will save her. I mean, I start thinking about this. It's like, you're definitely an astronaut in space, in a spaceship. I get that. But who's attacking your spaceship? Is it the Russians? Is it aliens? I was like, all right, maybe it's aliens. I've seen some of this Pentagon UFO stuff. But I would probably start thinking at the point of the story of my spaceship's under attack that maybe this isn't real. So the scammers, I would hypothesize, didn't actually want money. They're saying something that's so unbelievable, I would say no one would believe it. Turns out I'm wrong. There's one person that would believe it. My spaceship is under attack and oxygen is running low. We need to buy more oxygen. And scammer buddy's like, where do you expect them to think you're going to buy more oxygen from in space? It's like, I don't, I feel bad being a scammer. I don't actually want her money. Damn it, she sent it. So this one's hyper ridiculous. I feel bad for the lady, but the story, it's so funny to me. It's just so funny. It's like a scammer said, dude, I'm on Jupiter and I can't get off. My spaceship's out of fuel. I need to refuel. These things have big tanks. I'm going to need about $1.5 million to refill my space shuttle so I can get back to Jupiter because I really want to get back from Jupiter because I really want to meet up with you. It's just so outrageous. So right now we know there's a big uproar in the CDC. Trump is calling for transparency with big pharma and like their drugs. And the old guard at CDC is on their way out. Everybody's raising a fuss. And that's exactly why I love Ground News. They empower you to be informed with transparency instead of deception. Let me show you some of the features that I absolutely love. And on this particular story, Trump calls on pharmaceutical companies to justify success of COVID drugs. You can see there's 93 total news sources, 10 lean left, 25 lean right, and 16 are centered. And you can even sort the articles based on left, center, right. For example, Zero Hedge, they're a right-leaning outlet. Title, I want the answer. Trump demands Pfizer prove mRNA jabs work. Pretty right-leaning headline. And if we click over to the left-leaning headlines, for example, NBC News leans left, to say the least. Trump demands pharmaceutical companies release COVID drug success rates, which of course implies there's a success rate to release. And I also love the blind spot feature of Ground News. Stories disproportionately covered by one side of the political spectrum. So this headline, Rosie O'Donnell apologizes for saying Minneapolis shooter was a MAGA person. That is a blind spot of the left, with just 6% of the coverage coming from left-leaning sources and 88% coming from right-leaning sources. And Ground News makes it easy to stay informed while eliminating the deception that is so rampant in media. Stop getting deceived and get informed. And right now, save 40% off the Vantage subscription by scanning the QR code you see on your screen now, or go to my link in the description, or hit up ground.news/JP. Now back to the video. Now, before we get to a quick story about a Calgary woman who lost $800,000, she didn't lose it, she gave it to a scammer. Here's my amateur opinion of how the scammers and these romance scams are so successful. There's a lot of loneliness out there, and we all need a sense of connection and belonging. It's one of our basic needs. It's like you need oxygen, you need water, you need food, and a sense of connection is kind of next. It's really high in the hierarchy of human needs. So they know there's a lot of lonely people out there. Now, people who have plenty of connection, sense of belonging in their lives, we're probably not going to get them with our scams. That's okay. We got plenty of lonely people to prey on. So they get a message from someone, they feel lonely, they feel forgotten about, they feel unloved. And after a couple messages, they start showing emotional affection. And then this person, even though it's fake, they believe, wow, I am finally feeling connected to. That's what gets them. They're probably normal IQ. Some of them are probably much higher than an average IQ, but it's not a lack of intelligence that gets people to fall for these scams outside of this like astronaut spaceship lady. It's their emotional neediness that gets them to fall for the scams. So after they have the sense of emotional connection, now they're ripe to be taken advantage of. This person's valuing me, therefore I value them. I don't want to risk losing them. I want to actually please them. And then they get hit with, hey, I need money. And we'll see the playbook of the scammers in just a second. But first, that's the amateur perspective I have about how this works. And it's so common. I've actually had a person show up, met this person in person, and they thought they had sent me money. I'm like, oh no, you didn't. And I never asked for money. And person told me, we've had a lot of messages online. And I said, whoever thought you were messaging, I'm sorry. It's clearly a scam. Please report that account ASAP. That's how common it was. Someone was posing as me and unfortunately scammed a loyal fan of mine out of money. Side note, if you ever think you get a message from me online, TikTok is where this happened, or any platform, I never DM people asking for money. I never engage romantically with anyone on DM. So less people that I would want taken advantage of is viewers of mine who think they're connecting with me, and then that's taking advantage of them out of money. So just know that ain't me. And here's a Calgary woman who meets the criteria. She's very lonely, needs emotional connection. She thought she had it, and thus she was left open to be taken advantage of for $800,000.
Barbara Grant went on an online dating site and found Michael Janda.
We started talking to each other. He said, "You are gorgeous. I want to be with you. I want to have a home with you in Victoria."
Now, that's moving a little bit fast. But if you are in a state of dire emotional neediness, like someone who you've exchanged a message or two, they've looked at a picture of you online, and there's, you are gorgeous, you're amazing, I'm in love with you, I want to move in together. That's moving a little bit fast. Our intelligence knows that's a red flag. That's either not real or it's a psychopath on the other end of this computer. That's what intelligence would say. Emotional neediness would say, this feels really good and I want more of it. And honestly, for that, I can empathize. It's preying on people's unmet emotional needs.
Within weeks of the relationship, Janda told Grant he'd been arrested in Qatar and needed money, so she sent it several times, believing until one fateful day that the man she met was real.
He contacted me through LinkedIn and he said, "I can't come to Calgary. They've locked me up again." He was coming to the airport. I was going to pick him up. I then realized that it was a scam.
She lost $800,000.
I have nothing left except what's left in my riff, and I'm devastated by it. Sorry.
Though we can say, man, people need to be smarter. Yeah, we can say that. The reality is, when people have unmet emotional needs, they're going to fall for things. And whatever pieces of trash human beings are doing this kind of scamming, they're leaving their victims like the lady you just saw. She's in her mid-70s, now has zero money, has to go back to work, and probably feels unspeakable shame about herself. The rest of her life is negatively altered because of these absolutely vile human beings. Now, there are some warning signs about romance scammers. So clicking over to Reader's Digest that I did not know still existed, but they have signs of a romance scammer. Here are the warning signs, and boy, the first one is just maybe pretty darn important. You never meet the person. Your new beau keeps making plans to see you, but then doesn't show up. Usually claims something terrible just happened. Like his mother died, for instance, asks you for money. On my way to meet you, my flight's canceled. Dang it. Or with this Calgary lady, hey, I just got locked up in jail in Qatar, so I need money. So even the anonymous person that you think is a real person, you make plans to see each other. Don't take that as solidifying anything. Part of this romance scamming playbook is making plans to meet up. Makes you seem like, hey, I have nothing to hide, just desire to see you. But then something comes up last minute and they can't meet you. You don't ever see the person. That kind of makes sense. You suggest, hey, why don't we Skype or FaceTime? And they're like, well, yes, let's, oh, dang it, my internet connection isn't strong enough. Or the room is just extremely poorly lit if you do see them on video. That's certainly a red flag. Next warning sign, you feel like you met your soulmate. If you meet someone online and it feels like your soulmate, just know it's not. You can't tell it's your soulmate online. There's no soul in a digital connection of your ones and zeros connecting to their ones and zeros. Now, if you meet in person and they then truly feel like your soulmate, that might be real. But if you've never met and you just, I met my soulmate, you are drunk on emotional infatuation. Next warning sign, you're in a whirlwind romance. You get love bombing. The objective is to get you emotionally hooked before you can escape. Some scammers even send flowers or other small gifts to their victims. They may text the victim 20 times a day, mirroring what everyone would want in their true love story. The person indicates trust in you. Well, reciprocity would say, I owe you that trust in return. Reality, no you don't. Your new love values privacy. So this is them suggesting you get off the dating apps, you get off social media. We move this to text or phone, not video, which basically means it's easier for them to not get caught rather than staying within a social media app. And then if the others weren't all red flags, and indeed they are, your new one directly or indirectly asks you for money. And then as if the others aren't all red flags, and indeed they are, here is maybe the reddest flag of them all. Now, for that matter, if you just start dating someone in person and they directly, can I have money? Or indirectly, which means, gosh, there is this heart-wrenching situation that can only be solved with money and I don't have money, which means they're trying to guilt you into just offering money. So even if that's in person, that's just as red of a flag. So this is the list of red flags to know you're being romance scammed. So as much as I laugh about the woman who fell for the astronaut in space whose spaceship was under attack and needed more oxygen, everyone else, this is something real that to me I do have concern about. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. And oh, I gotta go. There's actually an astronaut. She says she loves me and running out of oxygen. So I gotta go do a little transfer, but I'll look forward to seeing you on our next video. Till then, stay free. Can't believe an astronaut likes me.